Sorry. I apologize.
What are you sorry for? First honest thing you did, Red.
It's not about him.
No.
Okay.
It's all about it.
Hello and welcome back to A Stark Contrast, where we discuss the differences and similarities between Marvel Comics and their MCU counterparts. And we are your hosts, Geoffrey
and Dai.
Hello, and welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Yes, I don't know why I have so much energy. I've had one meal today. Gang.
Caffeine? Anything?
Not caffeine. Maybe just adrenaline. Because I was like, Dai, I can't come over at this time because I'm waiting on a work thing. I got that thing done, uploaded, Slack, beep, boop, bop, boop, boo, and I was like, I'm on the way. And I got here so fast, and then bang, and then I just went on a 15-minute rant on the DMV and flights, and I'm hyped.
Wow.
Amped.
That's amazing energy. I am the polar opposite, slowly dying every second of the day.
It's true. I can hear
but
it.
It's okay. I mean, yeah, pretty much. But yes, we're here. And hello, everybody. So welcome to our spoiler-filled episode all about Daredevil Born... See, I was going to do it, but you should do it. Daredevil
Born Again!
Season 1. But of course, as we do with the rest of our shows, before we get to all of that, let's just clear some of the stuff we have to chat about on the side. And so first and foremost, if you didn't listen to our last episode all about Elektra, it is officially our 4th anniversary of the podcast. So whether you've been listening from the beginning, somewhere in the middle, or you just joined us, thank you so much for checking out the show. And if you'd like to support further, we've got Patreon contributions as low as $1 if you'd like some exclusive material and bonus content. There is also a free subscription, and you can just help support that way, and you still get access to a lot of the stuff. But check out the tiers. We've got some swag that we still have to churn out for this year, but it's good. It's good stuff as far as I am concerned. It's pretty neat. All exclusive stuff to Patreon. You can't get anywhere else. And if you'd like to join today via the link in our show notes down below. And so speaking of listeners, we actually got a listener question about the Elektra episode.
Ooh.
And so this was from listener / Patreon supporter Tyler. And he noted, quote unquote, I don't know anything about the olive oil line. So there was this, very quickly, there was this reference that is made at least twice in the first issue that Elektra appears in. And Matt calls her olive oil, and he keeps saying hit him low olive oil, and it's kind of like, where did that come from? And so Tyler asked, let me know if you ever figure that out, because it doesn't make any sense that it would be from TMNT first, since the first appearance of Elektra was before the first Turtles.
Yes.
But now I'm curious, and it's like, yeah, because we even said in the episode, it was kind of like, the internets said it was a TMNT reference, but I was like, no, I don't think so, because the time frame doesn't align. The timeline doesn't make sense. So I did even more digging to find out if I could figure this out, and I think I figured it out. So while there's nothing specifically tied to clarifying Matt using the key phrase, it likely comes from Matt recollecting his dad's days in the ring with the hit him low part. So hit him low in sports, you're not supposed to do.
Yes.
But when you're fighting mobsters and terrorists,
anything goes.
Hit them low. And so as for the olive oil part, it could be a callback to Popeye's olive oil, who originated in 1919. However, it seems to be swaying more toward literal olive oil, especially given the spelling.
Sure.
Because it's not spelled the same as olive oil Popeye, which is OYL. It's OIL. And so verdedivino.com, I went to an Italian food site.
God.
And so olive oil is also known as liquid gold, an expression that has been used for years to refer to its differential quality. And so the first evidence of this term was one of the poems from the popular Homer known from the famous Greek poem. That sentence does not make sense. I'm so sorry. That's from Per Verde Divino. Anyway, it's one of the line is essentially referencing the Iliad and the Odyssey. So the liquid gold part and olive oil. So to me, hello, Rocket Raccoon. To me, it makes sense that Matt refers to her as olive oil because it's a Greek thing.
Yeah.
And also she's worth her weight in gold. And to him, she's a treasure. But it's also just a funny little olive oil. So
Maybe
it's a Grecian thing.
Maybe is it because she's slippery?
I mean, maybe that would make sense too.
I don't know.
Yeah. So there's a little more that makes more sense than just, referencing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But the rest does check out that the ooze and all that.
Okay.
And, yeah. The hand, the foot. Yeah. It all makes sense. So just before we dive into all the things Daredevil, so the latest news in the Marvel Universe, I mean, what else but Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four?
Yes.
So the promos seem to be pacing at the same time because, honestly, they dropped Thunderbolts stuff and then almost immediately after dove into Fantastic Four.
They dropped another teaser today.
Today is the
Thunderbolts.
final trailer. Yeah. I'm still not watching it. I've not watched anything except for that first major trailer.
Respect, dude.
And I have not watched the Fantastic Four footage either. So
Really?
I'm fresh.
Because they uploaded a new Sunday clip. Too.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw screenshots
But you didn't.
of Johnny with the thing because it's a Kirby artwork on the cereal box. But I've not watched it.
You don't even know the lines that are said?
No, but I heard that he refers to her cycle or something.
Well, that's what people are assuming.
Right.
And it's probably true.
Sure. The whole pregnancy thing, I'm sure.
It was just funny.
Yeah. So I want to. I really want to watch it, but I'm not going to. Nope, not going to do it. I want to see that movie with baby fresh eyes. I just want to enjoy every single second.
Valid.
So yeah, it's interesting that they're just going for it. It almost worried me because I was like, are they just trying to bury Thunderbolts? But apparently it's trending so phenomenally well. And its test screenings are doing incredible. Perhaps I saw somewhere they referred to it that it's getting the best test screenings of any Marvel movie.
Looks like a good movie.
So that's great. I'm like, okay, cool. So maybe they're just like, yeah, we're confident. We don't care. And we're just gonna pump out all the Fantastic Four stuff now. But yeah, the Thunderbolts appeared at CinemaCon in Las Vegas, to which I was like, why don't I go to CinemaCon? I don't know why I haven't learned by now because it's in Vegas. It's only I think it's a 2-day show, but yeah, it seems like a fun convention. I just never went and I should have gone this year. But yeah, they debuted there and they gave out the Wheaties boxes to everybody who attended the panel. And Sebastian Stan is notably absent because he's filming another movie. And also I think he's jumping into Doomsday soon. So he's not there, which is kind of killing me. I'm like, dude, all these interactions. I've seen a little bit of the interviews. And Flo's killing it. She's doing great. But yeah. So they have a fan event for Thunderbolts coming up a couple of days before, or Thursday and Friday, just as the movie drops. And Jeff and I will be going to the Thursday one. So that's going to be fun. I mean, I've already accepted that no one's going to show up, but hey, you never know.
I guess it depends. Yeah.
Never know.
They've been prioritizing the New York premieres.
Right, exactly. Once again, but we'll see. But very excited. And so the next time you hear from us, it'll practically, it'll be time. It'll be time to chat about it. And that'll be great. I'm already planning to see it. I bought the Fandango fan pass. Yeah. So I was like, I'll do it for 1 month so I can get a bunch of tickets for a lower cost. And so we're probably gonna see it 4 times at least, I think. Love my Thunderbolts.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully it's great. So all that said, we can dive into Daredevil. Didn't do it. Daredevil. Daredevil.
Born again. I was like, oh, she's gonna continue it. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and dive into it. So just ended. We're recording on Wednesday, so it just ended last night.
Yes.
I have officially watched it twice.
Respect.
Which I've not seen any of the other episodes except for the first one twice.
Fair.
And I kind of want to go through the entire thing all over again. But
yeah.
Currently, the show is trending on IMDb at an 8.4 out of 10 rating, which is pretty freaking good.
I literally have their IMDb up.
Yeah,
Yes.
number 5 in popularity on the ranking, which is incredible. 87% tomato meter, 81% popcorn meter, also incredible.
Hell
And
yeah.
then Disney was boasting that the show had 7.5 million views on Disney Plus in its first 5 days,
Hell yeah.
which is wild. So fantastic, definitely a success.
He's so back.
Baby, he never left.
So back.
Never left.
We are so back.
So yeah, I mean, what do you let's go for it. It's episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, obviously, for those of you who don't know, the show was created by Dario Scardapane, but it was originally going to be the original showrunners were Matt Corman and Chris Ord, who were unfortunately dismissed after the first trial of filming, and it didn't go well. But Dario Scardapane was pulled in, and I think they did well. And then, FYI, if you didn't know, the theme music was composed by the Newton brothers, who are also responsible for the X-Men 97 theme.
Goats.
Yeah, pretty fantastic. Yeah, where should we even start?
I mean, yeah, we can keep. I think. Well, before we get into like each episode, and
Yeah.
we'll probably touch on more episodes on more than others.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. He likes these.
Oh, Rocket.
I liked. We picked this. We caught this from like the beginning.
Yeah.
Of the season of the whole like season of this whole first season. The overarching thing was, Matt and Wilson on a parallel journey
Yeah.
of they're both trying to change, they're both trying to be different, do things the right way.
Right. Yeah.
Let the law,
Sure.
let the city, have due process.
Uh-huh.
And then by the 8th, 9th episode, they're just like, yeah, F all that. I'm back to my old ways.
Well-
but now they're back to their old ways,
Yeah.
but they are born again.
Well, that's the thing, is that Born Again is really serving a multi-purpose
Yes.
in this entire season. From the beginning, that Daredevil is back
Yes.
after this incredibly long, unnecessary, but unfortunately necessary hiatus.
Yeah.
In that, and I was reading up earlier on the whole Netflix thing and how they were like, yeah, they can't use him. He cannot be used in media for at least 2 years, and that Disney waited out perfectly well and then got Charlie to come back and do all the things. And so it's like, yeah, when they bring back the series, Born Again seemed suitable for so many reasons because of that, first off, and then second, because it is referencing an existing storyline, Born Again.
Yeah.
And then a third being that Matt has more or less shed his Daredevil persona, and he is a new man, so to speak, in that he's trying to live more as Matt Murdock than he is Daredevil. And then same for Fisk, being Wilson Fisk and Mayor Fisk rather than Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin.
Yes.
And then another version of Born Again, in that there are all these other elements of like relationships that were lost and found, or found and then lost, right? Because he's got this relationship with Heather, and then he's also trying to recoup his relationship with Karen. And then, of course, as we mentioned, spoilers, the death of Foggy Nelson.
What?
and that whole thing, that it was such a promising start to their new success as Nelson, Murdoch, and Page.
Yes.
And now that's gone. And so all the way through to what Jeff just said, in that only to arrive at the very end of the series, in that not only has Matt embraced his dark side with Daredevil again, but Fisk is undeniably and has always been the Kingpin.
Yeah, he's not Mayor Fisk. He's Mayor Kingpin.
He's Mayor Kingpin. And, you know, the funny thing about where they had left off with Fisk in Daredevil season 3.
Yeah.
And the way that color plays a part, and it's a character of its own in Daredevil as a series, as a whole. I knew from like the very first or second episodes where they show this very interesting comparison, right? I think they opened in the first episode with it, in that Fisk is back to this modest lifestyle.
Yeah.
He used to be in this penthouse situation with a plethora of suits and ties and all the what do you call it? The cufflinks, right?
Yes.
He was drowning in his own riches, and now they've kind of flipped, right? Matt is actually a prosperous lawyer with Kirsten.
Kirsten, yes.
And he's got all the suits now, and then Fisk has,
Mayor Whip.
wow, he's like a big old miracle whip of a man.
Yeah.
But that Matt has all this fortune and he's built this up, and he's the one that has the suits now. And Wilson has he's down to only 5 or 6, whatever it was.
Yes.
But the way that color plays into it being that you see that white suit in Fisk's closet and you're like, we know what that means.
When's he going to get to it?
Once he gets into that white suit, and the same was still the same for Echo, right? Like he came in, and granted he was wearing the Hawaiian shirt, but he was still wearing the white suit.
Yeah.
So you're just like, ooh, when is he gonna
put the white suit on?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, he's in the morally gray area. He's wearing gray for the entire, almost more than half the season.
Yeah.
And then you finally get the white suit, and you're like, oh, it's gonna get real now. And same with Matt. You know, he's kind of like in this state of mind, and then you're just like, ooh, he's itching to get into the suit.
It's like, yeah, he wants
never does it.
He wants the law to do his job.
Yeah.
But when it came to the Muse episode, he was just like, oh, God.
Right. Exactly.
He literally said, fuck it.
I love this Matt Murdock.
I'm keeping that in there.
I love
Screw it.
They've practically and more or less unchained him.
Yeah.
He's unchained from...
So it was literally a parallel journey for both of them.
Yes,
like
exactly.
Going at the same rate.
Exactly.
We kind of see it, you know, at the first 2 episodes. Obviously, first episode, that's where Foggy passes away, which kind of turns Matt to be like, I can't do this. Being Daredevil is literally killing my friends.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I'm just going to be a gray lawyer.
Yeah.
Fisk is in a motion of, I don't have my wife. I've been ignoring my wife. I want to do something good because that Vanessa, I am better. And he wants to be better he's like, maybe I want to be a person for New York. And he becomes mayor. Right. You know, he's doing all the things. He's going through his mayor political, you know, things.
Yeah.
And then he starts and like, I think it's like in the middle episodes where he's like, oh, like he realizes he has to do other things that's not like creating policy or whatever. He has to show face at these events at schools.
Oh my God.
And
we built this city on rock and roll. And he's like,
and he's just like, yes, no, dude, you don't have to do another one. This is great.
You see his soul leave his body.
It was so
good.
It was so funny. I was like, I almost fast forwarded because I was like, this is so awkward.
It's perfect.
I was like,
so
please
perfect.
don't let this keep going. And I had my finger ready to be like, just fast forward 10 seconds.
You gotta live it through. Well, somebody made a great point in that this is the perfect embodiment and balance of action, drama, comedy.
Yeah.
Because it's moments like that where you're just like, it's quote unquote not necessarily supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be more like you're witnessing the actual toll on this man.
Yeah.
But it's also comically hilarious
Yeah.
because it's the same thing with,
Because you're
with
like,
the
this
dance
guy
too.
this guy used to kill people with his
used-
bare hands. What's he
Exactly.
doing? What's he out here doing at an
He's
elementary school?
We built this city on rock. And he's just like, his
Yeah.
head's tilted. He's like,
And then when that journey is happening, you go back to Matt, where he is fighting the trial for Hector Ayala, for
Yeah.
White Tiger,
Tiger.
and
What are
White
the
Tiger,
odds?
right?
What are the odds? Black Panther and White Tiger. What are the odds?
Hey,
That's so nuts to me.
2 cats, 2 different colors,
So nuts. That
2 different cities they're from.
2 different deaths of
Yeah.
the actors.
I know.
Is so insane.
Insane.
I'm like, what? What are the?
So you have that, and that's kind of, I think that kind of those flow of episodes.
Yeah.
That's where you see it's just Matt being a lawyer, and that's always
Love DA.
that's
Matt.
always good.
Yeah.
That's Matt being a lawyer, and you saw
A really good
how
lawyer.
great he is, and the unfortunate what happens at the end, but basically that's Matt trying to be a good lawyer and be like, look, this is who I'm sticking to. Like, look, like I'm a lawyer. Like nothing else needs to happen. And then I think it's when Hector gets killed where he's like, okay,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah. Well, because, and it's a testament to Matt Murdock, the Matt Murdock that they've shaped in, like, you don't have to be a full-fledged Netflix watcher and have seen every single one of those series to know that by now, Matt jumps the shark a lot. He does it. That's just what he does because he's not necessarily hot-headed and a loose cannon, but he's so confident, maybe not even confident. He's just so in the vein of delivering justice
Yes.
that you almost get the sensation that he's impenetrable, right? And
Yeah.
so he's thinking in his brain, he knows. Hector told him, like, this isn't this, like, he propositioned him before he even said anything. He's like, if I come out, like, that's it for me, And Matt, for whatever reason, thought that delivering justice would serve the most impenetrable justice, that it would protect Hector almost, right? And even you can tell in his face, he knows it's not true, but he's so willing to go there.
Yeah.
And he goes there thinking, okay, well, he'll be okay. He's okay. And it's like, oh no, it's so much worse because he
It's so bad.
immediately dies, immediately gets killed and murdered for that matter. And so it's like that magnificent line that I can't get out of my head is the whole, we're not serving justice, we're babysitting chaos.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like
So
the
good.
best line in this series, I think, by far. And so you see the effect, the cause and effect. He is very much a fuck around and find out kind of guy.
Yeah.
It's just who he is now more than ever. And so he's taking these risks for hopeful, like, big delivery and big payback, but it's not the payback he wants.
Yeah.
And you see it.
Yeah, and I think through those middle episodes, another thing that I liked about like Matt trying to break out of his shell
Yeah.
as he's trying to be this whole, you're like, no, justice will be served, and then things happen where he's like, my favorite is when, like, he just gets violent for no reason, but then catches himself. Like when he
Yes.
first punches Frank.
Yes.
The first time they meet,
Yeah, yeah.
he's like, oh, "My bad. I'm sorry. That was just so
Yeah,
not
he
like
lets
me."
it out,
And then
yeah.
Frank is just like, "Yeah, you know what? Red hell yeah. Let's see more of that." And he's
Frank.
like, "No, I'm sorry. It's not me."
Frank.
Ah.
He's another one.
And
that we
then
gotta talk
the
about.
another one where he's helping that messenger that Hector Yala was trying to help, and he goes to the apartment, and then he gets cornered by the
The
two
two,
cops,
yeah.
Powell, one of them Powell,
Yeah.
and then he's just like, you don't want this, you don't want to, I don't think you should do this, and he beats their ass.
Oh my God.
And he's just like, oh God, oh,
I know.
and he's like, oh,
you can see the effect it has on him,
Yeah.
and also how much he's holding back.
Yeah.
Which is, it makes for
Yeah.
incredible drama.
which will be good when we reach when we talk about the last episode, because it's just, there's just funny banter between Frank and Matt, and it's just so It's so hilarious. Where I'm like,
It's so
you know
funny.
what? Yeah, we're back.
Well, because
they're back.
they balance each other so well.
Yeah.
Right? They balance each other so well, where
So
you're just like,
funny.
this is the buddy cop film.
so
I didn't
funny,
expect this,
dude.
right? But again, it's that street level goodness. They're just like, they're unhinged enough.
Oh, it's so
and
good.
they're so good. And again, like a testament to not only Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, but
Yeah.
also Johnny Bernthal as
Yeah,
Frank
yeah.
Castle
He's
is
so
like
good.
God's gift to any comic book film ever.
Yeah.
Again, I liked all of the former Punishers. I thought the 80s film was fun. I thought the Tom Jane film was quirky fun, and you know, all of them are great. But there is something to John Bernthal.
He has it.
He has got it so locked in, and you know, like upon rewatching, and I didn't even need to rewatch it to know. But the minute they started their version of what is basically the hallway fight,
Yeah.
when they're ambushed in Matt's apartment,
Yeah.
after this, you know, this whole showdown, the way that John Bernthal yells and grunts
Yeah.
as Frank
I agree.
is like one of the
So
scariest
good.
things.
And it was really, we'll get to it, but
Yeah.
it was really violent. I was like,
Incredibly violent.
hell yeah. They didn't
Yeah.
hold back the violence.
Not at all.
And people thought that, oh, it's Disney, they're not going to show violence.
Oh,
And
I
it's
know.
like-
That's what kills me.
Yeah, and it's like, I was like,
like, oh, no,
that
no,
was
no,
like
no.
the bloodiest season finale I've ever seen in my life.
I know. Pretty much.
But all right.
It's like that there was a particular like level of insanity when
Yeah.
Kingpin was bashing somebody's head in with a car door.
Yeah.
Granted, you did not see it, but it's the horror is there, right? You
Yes.
still understand, and then you see the
Yes.
pile of blood that's happening.
Yeah, I remember
But
that.
this freaking finale,
Oh, I know. And then, yeah, on the flip side of Kingpin throughout the season, we're seeing like, okay, he's getting tired of like this mayoral things,
Yeah,
and
he hates
he
it.
goes back to Vanessa. They go to therapy. He realizes,
oh my God, Heather.
yeah, yeah, dumbass.
She very, very frustrating.
Yeah, and then you kind of see like, okay, well, look, Vanessa. Like then he starts to realize like, Vanessa, you run this part of that business.
Yeah.
And then I'm on the legal side.
Right.
So technically,
Yeah.
I can help you out,
Yeah.
help us out.
Yeah.
Bing, bada, boom, illegal stuff, but legal.
Right.
Which we then discover about the whole Red Hook port
Mm-hmm.
at the end. And so you're kind of like, okay, Fisk is kind of, when he created the task force, the vigilante stuff, you're kind of like, okay, this guy's horrendous. He's coming back.
What I think is also so genius about Wilson and Vanessa is that now the word and the name Fisk is not only applicable to one. It's not only Wilson anymore. And she even says it when she stands up to him in episode 7 or whatever it was, when she's like, I ran this city while you were not here.
Yeah.
I brought in the money. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, she's doing
and then,
it.
And then I think I don't know if it was the finale or episode 8 where he was like, with Red Hook, with the business, you brought in millions.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
With this,
Bring billions.
with this whatever
Yeah.
project, we
Yeah.
can bring in billions. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
two are about to mess up the city of New
They're
York for sure.
messing it up.
But
She has become so formidable.
Yeah.
And you know, she is a queen pin, as they call it in the comics. She is a queen pin. And so it made me wonder like what her allegiance really was and where her loyalty was throughout the season, because especially when Alex was around with her the person she was having an affair with.
Adam.
Was it Adam?
It's Adam.
I thought it was Alex.
Adam.
I thought it was Alex.
Adam.
Really? Was it Adam?
Adam.
Damn. I thought they were whatever.
No.
Anyway,
Yes.
so with him, yes, you're right. Adam. Damn. Bored again.
Oh.
But yeah, with Adam and like that episode where they kill him, right?
He confesses. Yeah.
Yeah, and just the fact that for a second, you're not sure where she's standing. You're like, is she gonna let him go? Is she gonna kill Wilson?
I love how that's like their form of couples therapy.
It's so insane.
Where he's just like, you know, when you like you do something bad, maybe you like, I don't know, you drunkenly said something, maybe you did something like you confess to them. His confession is, I'm sorry, the guy you had an affair with, I trapped him in this cage.
I know.
And I'm torturing him.
And I have been for weeks.
Can you forgive me?
Yeah. And then he furthered and was like, when I see his hands. I'm like, Wilson, don't tell her.
Yeah.
It disgusts me. I think
And
of them on you and you're just like,
and then he's like, hey, if you can beat me and escape, you can escape. But if not, you stay here. And obviously Wilson beat his ass.
Oh, yeah.
And then Vanessa, he brings Vanessa down there. This is what I've been doing.
Yeah.
You do what you may.
And
then she's like, shoots him.
And then shoots him. I was like, oh my gosh. Because truly.
Oh, these guys are psychotic.
Truly, the look on her face for a moment, right?
Yeah.
I was like, is she gonna yell at him? Like, what is she gonna do?
That was actually the second time that I knew where I was like, oh, they're back. The first time I knew was when they set up Luca.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where she was like, she told like, hey, he's alone at this dinner.
Yeah.
You know, at this restaurant, you can do it there.
They don't care for the bro.
Yeah.
The
and I was just like,
bro.
in my head, I was just like, this dumbass fell for this.
He thought
you really thought you were gonna be able to sneak up on Fizz?
So
when he has his right man, Buck,
Buck,
and like, and then, like what the like? As soon as, so when I saw that, and people thought like they're like, oh, like Vanessa sent him to kill Wilson, and I was like, no, Vanessa sent him to get killed because he was pretty much the last kind of domino or barrier that was in their way of taking over the city.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. You know, in terms of the gang part. And so I'm like, that was when I was like, oh, they're back.
Yeah. And again, I couldn't imagine, because it's the actress is Ayelet Zurer. I could not imagine, because they had recasted her. The original showrunners recasted Vanessa. And so I can't imagine, like, now more than ever, cannot fathom another actor being Vanessa, in that role.
And then them together. Yeah.
And with Vincent D'Onofrio. It just would have felt so strange.
Yeah.
But she is incredible. I think she's still as strong as she was in the first seasons. And she's just very diabolical. Yeah. She is diabolical.
And then before we get into the finale, because I think we're going to spend a lot on the finale, maybe the last two episodes. I think where they start to go full turn, obviously we just talked about like where they go full turn back to Daredevil and Kingpin. It was a Muse episode. For Wilson, it was Muse being like, there's a serial killer vigilante, and it's like, boom, vigilante act. And then for Daredevil, he was like, well, the cops aren't going to find Hector Ayala's niece, so I must. Yeah. And he did. He's back. He was back to full Daredevil. Even like he didn't kill Muse. Heather technically did. Yeah. And for the record, I was actually rooting for Heather because I was like, but it was that conversation when they talked about the mask and the vigilante
that
thing.
That made me angry.
I was like, oh man, if I was mad, I mean, I don't hit women. Probably would have done it right there.
Oh my God. Well, that's the crazy thing, right? Is that you just think they served up Heather in such a way. And so I'm not familiar with comic book Heather at all. But from what I understand is that she's still not as insufferable as the comic book version.
Sure.
Which is crazy to me. But I get it. Like, and I was rooting for her too. I was like, okay, fresh girl for Matt. This is nice.
Well, I also like that it was like a point of, it was a character that is parallel with Matt that is like on the fence of things.
Yeah.
Like we know, like in the series, like let's see, Karen. Obviously, she went away for a bit, but then Kirsten is on Matt's side, but she's also the firm side. Cherry, obviously he knows that Matt's Daredevil, so he's definitely team, like he's firm, but he's also just like, Matt, you need to figure your stuff out, bro. Like, let's get it together. Like, but then when it comes to Heather, who's obviously his love interest, But then she's also on the other side of, she's Wilson. She's their couples therapist. But then, so she was like morally like in between, but then it got to a point of, oh no, like this vigilante stuff. And so when she was like on that, it was kind of like, she would hate Matt's other half, obviously.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, well, it's because you like she's great and great and great and great until you realize where the stance is.
Yeah, you start to like
and
not root
like,
for her.
Oh shoot, she's not for any of that. She's not into the vigilante lifestyle. And then you're thinking, okay, well, she's never experienced it, and then she experiences it firsthand. Unfortunately, in the worst circumstance imaginable, because of Muse, who is also technically a vigilante.
Yes,
and so to be put in that position only further amplified her agony over them. So she's already like being a therapist, right? She's already analyzing all these people and what mindset they must be in, right?
Yeah.
And then she's thrown into that situation like live bait because of one of her patients, let's be honest, like two of them, not only Muse, but also the Fisks. And then Matt and his crazy new baton, like trigger happy situation with it going through Muse and the fight and the gun. And so for her to witness all of that and then be put in that position with Matt thereafter about it really sent her off the rails, because you almost get the sense that she is looking to be like, I can take care of myself. I can do what I can do. I'm a strong, independent. She's trying to live up to the strong, independent woman thing.
Yes.
Which, hell yeah, go for it, sister. But also to be like, he didn't save me. I saved myself. I'm like,
you would have died.
yeah, I'm like, I'm pretty sure
you would have died.
You would have died
easily.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, don't be so strong that you're prideful about it. And then obviously saying it to the wrong person.
Yeah,
because it's literally Matt.
Yeah,
and also just not listening to him. And it's interesting the way that they framed her in that episode and also the finale. Yeah. Because she has such skepticism when it comes to him. She doesn't believe anything he says. You can tell she's already like so far down the rabbit hole of reality, quote unquote, the reality that Fisk and Vanessa are selling, that Matt sounds hysterical to her. Yeah. And so it then makes me wonder, like, liking him aside, are you now just with this man because you want to psychoanalyze him? Yeah. And nothing to do with anything else. Just the fact that she thinks he's so bananas. She's like, I just want to see why.
She's drinking that Fisk Kool-Aid, man.
No, it's frustrating. I'm like, Matt, you deserve better. Call
and
up
that kind
Jen.
of and like that relationship kind of culminates, funny enough, in the beginning of the finale where Matt gets shot. Yep. Heather's by his side. Matt wakes up and he's like, Karen? And I was like, oh my God, this guy is messy.
Well, I love
this guy is messy as hell.
I love the McDuffie, like straight up like makes the face. It's like, it's the drugs.
It's the drugs. 100%.
Like, but this is why I also like Kirsten McDuffie. Yeah. And she's, I mean, it's so early to tell and to designate whether or not she's comic book accurate. Yeah. But so far...
Really?
So far?
Wow.
She's nailing that
wow.
shit. She's so good.
Love
She's
that.
so good. Because their relationship in the comic is different. It's more romantic, obviously. Yeah. But at the very beginning, she is on point. Yeah. And so that delivery of like, it's the drugs. I was like, wow, Kirsten. Yeah. She's incredibly good. But yes, and then but it's another one for Heather, because she's already at this vulnerability point that she probably hates.
That probably that also like tipped her over the edge too.
Sure, 100%.
When and then when Fisk asked her to be her chief of department mental health or whatever, it's kind of like, yeah,
easy. 100%.
Easy. Yeah.
She was like, see, I'm capable. I can handle this. Yeah. I can do this.
And so getting into the finale, and
also I can prove him wrong.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh.
Yeah, getting into the finale, maybe end of episode 8 into the finale. Mm-hmm. We find out Vanessa hired Bullseye to take Foggy out because Foggy's case that he was about to win, file a motion to dismiss.
Right.
It was going to expose some things about about Red Hook, and I was like, whoa. And I was like, I wonder what it is. And it's like, oh, it's a free port, which means anything can go through there. And I was like, oh my God.
That's so wild.
They can literally transport anything legal, hashtag or backslash illegal. And because he's the mayor, it's untouchable.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, it makes me also wonder, there is this casino in the comics that is well known for not harboring, but catering to the criminal underworld of sorts. And so I was like, are they gonna bring this casino to life at Red Hook? Like, are they gonna make the bar?
Oh,
yeah. Like, are they gonna do all these comic book accurate spots? And I was like, here it is.
Never say never.
We could Stiltman.
We got Stiltman chilling.
Oh my God. But yeah, like it's so genius.
Oh, then also Wilson literally bribing, blackmailing all the like donors or whatever.
I know.
I was like, oh, he's so back.
And then I was like, but the entire time, every time I would see Tony's name on the credits, I'd be like, Jack, don't kill Jack.
Come to find out, he was just the one that didn't agree with, and I was like, yeah, you go. And then he's just, he's trapped.
Got money. Yeah, so he's still trapped, but hopefully getting out because of Frank.
Maybe that's the army, baby.
I mean,
and it's also, I mean, people are also waiting for
swordsman.
They're also waiting for the young defenders.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my God.
Going through the finale. It starts off with a friggin' bang, I think. Oh yeah, Buck tries to kill, not Bucky Barnes, but Buck, right hand man of fist, tries to kill Matt. Tries to kill Matt. He escapes. Matt goes to his apartment.
Bro, can I just say, the music choices, they're, for me, coming from a James Gunn perspective, I'm like, these are interesting. Like Killing Me Softly. I was like,
I have to rewatch that.
What? And it was during the blackout scene when Cashman is going to the hospital.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I was like, I get it. But I'm also like, and then to close out with like Radiohead, I was like, huh.
Hey, man.
Bops. For sure.
Whatever the kids like these days.
But do they? I feel like those are my songs.
But Matt,
very interesting.
Matt going back to his apartment. You're the last one I expected to be here.
I love
and it's Frank,
yeah.
cleanly shaven.
I know.
Aftershave, haircut.
That kills me because he's like, did you clean it for me?
You didn't do that for me.
And I'm like, Karen. Karen.
I totally forgot about the whole the Karen
did you?
Punisher thing.
Well, I was thinking too, because the coffee line, I think, is a throwback to the Punisher series.
That's what I thought.
And what's funny is that of all these shows, my dad watched all of these shows before he passed away, and Punisher was his favorite. Aww. He loved the Punisher show. And now I'm like, I think I need to rewatch it again because I don't remember everything. I just remember that, the Thing is in it, and he's a data hacker, and Frank is just
the castle stand.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch it, but I do remember the whole Karen and Frank thing, and I'm like, come on, guys, for real. And so I said it to Andrew today. In fact, I was like, Karen at this point is giving me Mary Jane in Spider-Man 2 vibes, the game, where she's kind of OP. You're just like, you should have been dead ages ago.
Well, that's why she went to San Francisco, dude.
I know.
But she found out that he was in trouble, and she made a call. And she got on a flight right away.
And then the whole, like, heartbeat thing. I was like, get out of here. Get out of here with that. I heard his heartbeat raise when he was around you. I'm sure it was just the adrenaline. And then, did you hear my heartbeat? I'm like, stop it! You guys are killing me.
Oh, then even, I don't know if you know, someone on Twitter, I saw this on Twitter, when Karen does make her appearance.
Yeah.
Like you see her come out the car.
Yeah.
Then you see Matt and Frank. And then Matt turns to Frank.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, he heard his heartbeat because he was like, he heard it
shoot up again.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So I totally forgot about that because when I saw after the fight scene in Matt's apartment, which was crazy, violent, loved it. More of that.
Amazing.
Before where Matt was about to kill the main cop, Cole. I think his name was Cole or whatever it was. He was just like, oh, you're the one. You're the one that killed Hector Ayala, and then Frank's like, yeah, do it, man, do it.
I know.
Do it, Red. Do it, Red. Yeah. Yeah. And then
It's really good.
thank you. And then he's like, no, man, no.
Yeah.
He's not worth it.
Yeah.
He's like, he's not worth it. This guy worth it. Bah! And he's like, Frank, stop. And I was like, what are you guys, little freaking kids? He's like, yeah,
It's
you're gonna sacrifice yourself for him, Red.
Oh, he's so good at
You're gonna
that.
sacrifice for him, huh?
Did you watch The Walking Dead when it was like when it first started?
No, but then I know he was on the show, yeah.
But Johnny Bernthal in general always has this energy to him, right?
Yeah.
He gives this sort of energy and it's amplified as Frank.
Yeah.
Because he
It's
did
so
that.
good.
He did that as
It's
Shane.
so funny.
It's so incredible.
He's like, yeah, Red. Yeah, come on, stop holding back.
Well, yeah, because he has a bit of Jersey in him, right? And so in The Walking Dead, when he was Shane, and Shane, you wanted to hate Shane. You wanted to, and you kind of did, but he was so magnificent in the role. You were
Yeah.
like, God dang, this guy is good. And he would do the same thing. He's like, oh, you're gonna lead this group? You're gonna do that? How are you gonna do that?
Yeah,
How are you
okay.
gonna do that?
Okay.
With your wife?
Yeah.
With your gun?
Okay. You come here with your righteous self, Red. What are you? A righteous man? Huh? Huh? What do you think you are? Go ahead. Let it out.
And I love it because it's an intensity, right? That's like beckoning Matt, like how we said in our lecture episode, how at many times she's almost the devil on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And it's like he's always got somebody nagging him on
Yeah.
to do the thing.
Yeah.
If he's not already doing it to himself. So for Frank to only further amplify that, I'm like, dude, and you can see in Matt's body language, he wants to do it.
Yeah.
He wants nothing more than to do it. But because he's trying to deliver justice and not babysit chaos, he's not doing it.
Like that was actually one of the, because usually I'm team like, nah, like, be a better person. But like during that, I was like, hey, you know what, man?
No.
Kill that guy. Hey, what's going to happen if you do?
Yeah,
Nothing.
Nothing. And then they all died.
Anyways,
like an explosion.
at least from what we saw.
From what we saw, because there's no bodies.
But then they go back to Frank's place. There's like these intimate moments of Karen helping Matt, but then Frank's in the distance, and I'm just like, what is this sexual tension going on
even
here?
the focal point,
the
the
focal
camera,
length,
I was like,
it refocused. So I was just like, what is this sexual tension? And then like I was like, wait, did Karen and Frank have something? Like, damn, am I forgetting something?
Yeah, dude.
And then I was like, and then the coffee thing, and I was like,
right.
these people are horny. This is crazy. Like this is.
And it's funny because like Luke Cage's thing was all about coffee.
Yeah.
He was all about the coffee line too.
Yeah,
so I was like,
yeah.
what's going on here? But yeah, Frank and Karen, like, and you could tell that for Frank in the Punisher series, he was resisting the connection because, he's so dedicated to Maria and his family.
Yeah.
He did not, like, there was no room, there was no space for anyone, and he was making sure of that there was only room for his family. But then here comes Karen knocking on the door with her beautiful blue eyes and her beautiful blonde hair.
It's Deborah Ann Wall.
She's beautiful. There's no denying this woman is beautiful. And he let her in. And so throughout from what I remember of Punisher, like, there is this slow burn for them.
Sure.
And you get the idea he's turning soft for her, and she's obviously in the thicket of it. And so it's carried over.
You want a cup of coffee? Nothing a cup of coffee can't fix.
And then she rejects it, which is like, ooh, spicy. She didn't want it. But Matt did, and he wanted oat milk. So I love that. He was just like, okay.
I killed him, and I liked it. Hell, I loved it.
I love Johnny.
So we got that, and then
so good.
They go in, find out why Foggy was gonna win his case. Meanwhile, Fisk is trying to find people who are with him, and so there's a conversation between Sheila and the commissioner, and Wilson, kidnaps the commissioner, and we probably see one of the most gruesome, cruel deaths on screen
So nuts.
on a TV show, let alone on Disney Plus.
I had to rewind it several times.
I think I paused. I'm pretty sure I paused. I remember I was like, oh, he's squeezing his head. I was like, all right, cool, yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
I was like, okay,
we knew that.
I was like, that's very Wilson. I was like, yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And he kept going. I was like, oh, okay, his face is getting really red.
What did you expect?
Well, I saw the tarp all set up.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And I was just like, okay, he's obviously gonna die here.
Sure.
I obviously like, you know, gun to the
head. And I feel like that's also why he made the call to Sheila of like suss out who is down.
Yeah.
And then make everybody else go home. And I was like, oh, is that code for like let the people who want to see somebody get killed?
I don't know. I was like, how did they get the recording? I don't like. Is Sheila the one?
She was recording.
Oh, she's the one that gave it?
I think so. That's why she was crying after because she gave it to him.
I just thought it was caught somewhere, and Sheila was crying because it was just like fuck.
I think she was recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate because I'm sure I'm gonna keep going back to this, but she's trying to deliver justice. She's trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And so because he is the seated mayor, she's like,
I have to.
Well, he asked me to do something.
Yes.
So, but yeah. So what did you expect?
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then it just stayed on his head.
Yeah.
And they showed the crackle and the tear, and I was like, oh my God.
I know. I expected him to crush a bit.
It was a tear of the top of the head, and then the dislocation of the
That
jaw,
was insane.
and the blood squirting out. I had the same reaction as those cops did. Those task force, they were just like, "Oh God!"
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh my God!" And me, I was just like,
I know. I was like,
"What the hell just happened?" I was like, "This man with his bare hands, screw a car door. His bare hands got out a little napkin. Was like." You guys with me? And I'm like,
me.
Jesus.
He was like, let me pat my
He's like, not even, let me wipe
eyebrow.
my hands. Like, no, I got something on my face.
Yeah, like, oh my God.
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh, we're screwed. I was like,
sure.
okay.
Yeah. Incredible practical effect.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
But I honestly didn't think he was gonna go that far. I thought he was just gonna like you can kind of see it go in.
Yeah.
And then, but now I'm like, is that humanly possible?
Yeah. And then after that scene, we get, obviously, because Frank, he stole a walkie-talkie. He got word that they're all at Red Hook. This psychopath goes to Red Hook by himself to take on the task force. And I was like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Whatever, screw it. He goes in there, does what he does. That scene between him and the task force where he's sitting down, tied up, talking to them. He's like, you clowns dress like you think
so good.
You think you know me? You think you know my story?
My misery.
You don't know what I've been through.
Yeah.
You don't know. I do what I do. And I was like, hell yeah.
Oh my God.
He's like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it? He's like, he gets punched. Oh, this is my favorite thing that he said. He gets punched and he's like, I'm still here. I was like, oh my God, this guy's insane.
So good. But that's what makes him, makes the Punisher the Punisher.
So I was just like, yeah. This is sick.
Yeah.
And obviously he gets chained up.
Yeah.
And then Matt and Karen are staking out, and I was like, damn, are they really gonna go out there? And then they're discussing, and then when Matt's like, we need an army, I was like, who, mother? Like, what are we? Who you calling? Side tangent. The funniest tweets I saw were like Spider-Man when all this stuff is going down.
I know.
It's like, yeah, whatever.
He's like, I got a test, man.
Yeah, I got it. He's like, Spider-Man's worried about his freaking GED. Yeah. Meanwhile, Wilson Fisk just blocked out the whole city. Yeah. And he's probably like, man, I can't steady.
I know, exactly.
Like, what?
It's just cut to Peter Parker with a flashlight in his mouth. And he's like, oh, I'm trying to finish this work.
And so...
Okay, wait, very quickly.
Yes.
I had to find out. I had to know. So my first question was, is it possible to crush someone's skull in?
With just your bare hands?
And it is.
Yes.
But and this is where we're going to get into physics and all that good stuff, is that the force requires 540 Newton. So 540 Newton on Earth is approximately 55 kilograms. And then if you think about it, so 1,000 newtons is approximately the equivalent of the force of 220 pounds. So 540 is more or less half of 1,000 newtons. So that would be the equivalent of a person of 115 pounds standing on top of you.
Oh my God.
Which would take the force to crush the skull. So imagine 110, like, so Wilson was basically giving the force of the mass of a person that's 115 pounds.
And I believe it.
Pressure in between
Yep.
that poor commissioner's head or eyes, and then
I believe it.
that's insane. And that's the hardest portion of the skull. So the softer portions required even less, which explains why he was able to...
He broke the jaw first.
Broke the jaw
Yeah.
first, and then the skid upward of his temple because it's
Eesh.
softer tissue
Yeesh.
and softer bone density.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Why did I just look that up?
We have it. But
it's real.
Dai's a certified psycho, guys. He just wanted to know how much force it took.
That's so nuts. Wow.
I know.
Holy
Going back
moly.
to Matt wanting an army, needing an army.
Yes.
I know that got a lot of ears perked up for a lot of
I
people.
know. I immediately was like, Defenders, baby. And then I was so wrong.
Well, I mean, probably not
There's
wrong.
still time, right?
It's just, I think it was the night passed by. Obviously, he's recruiting those, good cops that want to be on his side. But it's also just like, he's gonna. I'm pretty sure season 2 is about. Like we got to take down Mayor Fisk and this empire that he's created. And it's not just like an empire that's underground. It's a government empire. He has control of pretty much all of New York City. And he has a whole task force dedicated to these vigilantes.
Powell.
And obviously we've seen some season 2 stuff already, like pictures. So we know that young Johnny in there, young Johnny B. So they're together. So I'm excited that conversation between Karen and Matt before he walks out of the Josies, saying like, I thought I lost. I thought when God gave me this whatever, I was blind. I thought it was like darkness. I was supposed to live in darkness my whole life, but I realized that I just need to live in light and stuff.
I thought that was very, obviously so poetic, but something that, like if you were not blind and did not know a blind person, it's so eye-opening. That's like, and the fact that he was like, it's not dark at all. It's just bright light. And it's like,
so it's like him, like now it's like, I feel like now, because this first season was basically a battle between Matt and Daredevil. He didn't know. It was like, I just want to be Matt. No, he's like, no, but I can't be Matt without being Daredevil. But he's like, but if I'm Daredevil, I can't really be Matt.
Right.
I feel like now, going in season 2, it's like he's embracing being like both. Like Matt is Daredevil, Daredevil is Matt.
They're one
I
and the
will
same.
do what I will do what I have to do. What's right.
Right.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm very excited.
Ooh,
It's
boy.
good. It's great television,
Oh, it's amazing.
and
good.
I'm grateful that we're not going to be waiting 2 years, 3 years. Like they started filming as the last 3 episodes, were coming out. That's a good
Exactly.
sign. I know people are like, "Oh my God, I have to wait at like just under a year." I'm like, dude, like you know how hard it is for because of how television has been in the last in this modern era. Like back then, like even the Netflix, we were getting 18, 20 episodes, right? So that was still technically traditional television on a modern media.
Exactly.
So they were pumping out still 20 episodes for seasons.
You know what's crazy?
Huh.
Speaking of, so if theoretically, which likely true, Daredevil Born Again season 2 drops March 2026.
Yeah.
Avengers Doomsday drops May 2026.
Yep.
Followed by Spider-Man 4.
That's right. Summer.
Brand New Day, July 2026.
I heard Brand New Day was very street level too.
It better be.
I hope so.
Honestly, it better be. If it's not, they just need to stop because they need to bring him back down here. But That's their.
We are very close. I think we're very close, Dai,
That's
to
crazy.
getting a Daredevil Spider-Man team up.
Well, I am kind of upset about the Fisk thing, though. Like, if they can't
The-
bring
the
Wilson
rights-
in
the rights
because of
thing?
the rights, I'm like, bro, like, if he can't even be,
I know.
I hope that he's kind of lying. I don't think he is. Vincent doesn't seem to lie on social. He's very straightforward.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has any reason to like be cheeky about anything.
Yeah.
So I think he's 100% true or sincere.
I
when
think
he's
it'd be more
saying it.
beneficial to have Spider-Man in the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Like have him making an appearance in the show.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
That'd be great.
But I know. I'm like, it's right there, guys. Come on. Like, just do it.
Yeah.
Do the thing. Like, you got to do it. Especially, and, of course, for those of you who don't know, like, Kingpin is technically a Spider-Man villain,
Yeah.
first and foremost, which, sure, we're going to talk about that very soon, but it sucks that he unfortunately
I know.
falls within that weird parameter of Sony being like, well, you can't use him cinematically.
I know. What are you gonna do anyway?
Yeah,
man?
so I wonder if Marvel would be up for reverse Unoing it and putting Spider-Man into Daredevil instead. I mean, that's a big dream, but I mean,
I know.
yeah, either way,
But,
yeah, one day, hopefully.
But yes, excited for season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they just keep this going, man, like you just keep the story's good, fresh,
Mm-hmm.
writing good, actors. Yeah, I'm so excited. It was such a good finale.
I'm still, even after 2 watches, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it and like
It's
what
so
the
good.
season has been, and it's just been like, wow, it's like in your famous words, like he's back, like he's.
So bad.
And it's like I said, I never would have imagined Daredevil coming this far and being this popular and this so well loved that he now has technically 4 seasons of his own show.
Yup.
Speak nothing about the rest of his appearances.
Yup.
But yeah, I hope that the next season will be just as good, if not better. It is shorter. Forbes reported that season 2 will have 8 episodes.
8.
Yeah, so 1 less than season 1. Curious what's going to happen, because initially it was reported that it was supposed to have 18, right? When it was still the original show airs. It was going to be 18 episodes long for the season, and they were going to split it up instead once they got the new guy, and so it's cutting in under that with 17 total. But I still have faith in the process, especially with this show.
Just keep it good. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they will. I feel like they've got it on track now. They've got it kind of where they want to be, and they're in a place that they don't have to rewrite a lot of the history, at least just yet, right?
Yeah.
Until they start introducing characters that were so specific, which is very much the Defenders and Elektra. Those are the only 4 or 5 that I feel that they're gonna have a challenge pulling back in. The Defenders, not even close. I think that Colleen Wing, even like all of those characters, are fine. They can bring them in as is. Elektra, I think they might need to rework a little bit. But everybody else has been treated awesome. Like Bullseye, no notes. I think he's fantastic.
Yep.
And I think they've made him. They've given him an interesting arc of growth in a way. If you go back to the very beginnings of him just being an agent, and now that he's just a freaking madman, very curious how he's gonna land in season 2, because spoilers.
Yeah.
Bullseye is there. So curious. I think he still has a little bit up his sleeve. Because I am curious, what is your take on this? I have not had time to look up what other people think about it. But when Dex was going to shoot Fisk, why was he going to shoot Fisk? Why? Was he there to shoot Fisk, or was he there to shoot somebody else?
I think it was there to shoot Vanessa, but then realized Fisk is there, and he was like, "Well,
He broke my back, so
Screw it.
Lest we forget.
Yeah. So I think that he was going to kill either one of them.
Right.
I think
He just
either one of
didn't
them
care.
would have been fine. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. But
Interesting. Yeah, see, and he's not an anti-hero. He is a villain. So
Yeah.
I think that despite his potential help
yeah.
of bringing down the Fisks, he's still going to do something.
Yeah.
And so I think this is where we could see someone's going to die.
Yeah.
Yes, another person is going to die.
Yeah.
We might get Foggy back, but someone else will leave the premises, if you will.
Yup.
Very curious how they're going to handle it, but we'll find out in less than a year, which is amazing.
Yep.
And I just hope that people don't spoil it all, because that's, I mean, granted, when we saw the pictures of Punisher and Daredevil, for instance, and now to see it on screen, obviously the context is so much greater in the final product, but it's still nice to be surprised.
Yep.
Every now and then.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Great season 1.
Fantastic. I just absolutely love Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio. They're truly a match made. Yeah, can't wait to see more. So all of that said, I guess we could just say,
Yup.
as Daredevil season comes to a close for this year, please join us 2 weeks from now as we dive into none other than the Kingpin himself.
Yes, it's me.
Fisk.
We will discuss the city that I love so much. Thank you, New York.
Should we just do it like ASMR style?
If we could get through doing the whole episode as Wilson Fisk,
Oh my God.
1, I think that's impressive, and 2, I think people would have turned off would turn off the episode. So I don't know. we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll do the intro in Wilson Fisk when we do it, and then we'll see how I feel.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. Yeah. So please join us in 2 weeks. And then after Wilson Fisk, you know what time it is. It is Thunderbolt season. So join us then. Until then, thanks for listening. And a special thank you to all of our Patreon supporters and a We Are Groot salute to Ed, Laura, Chris, Sherry, Jenny, Katie, Melanie, Robin, Ashley, Edgar, Ariel, Tyler, Joliz, Andrew, Nats, and Andrea. Follow us on social at STRKCNTRST. And if you like what you hear, review, rate, and subscribe.
Once again, thanks for listening, and we will catch y'all in the next one.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Is that a new costume? What do they call you now? Nightgown man?
How about you? After shaving a haircut? That all for me?
Yeah, I did it for you.